Alright, well, my editing skills are crap, but can the same thing be said about scary stories to tell in the dark? Stick around and find out. Oh crap, I broke the little thingy on my... Alright. Hey, I'm Peter Franson from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions, here with my uncut review of scary stories to tell in the dark. First, I have to apologize. I'm recording just using my phone right now because my computer decided not to start yesterday morning, so it is in the shop. I'm hoping to get it back soon. But that will explain why content, maybe you've noticed for me, has been late or missing for who knows how long by the time this video gets up. But anyway, trying to stay productive, so I'm doing this for now. I hope you'll forgive the change in the quality. Anyway, what did I say? I said, oh yeah, synopsis. I got my wife's laptop down here, so I'm sorry, I'll try not to be looking up and down. But I'm going to do that anyway. It's 1968 in America. Oh, this is the synopsis from IMDb, by the way. It's 1968 in America. Change is blowing in the wind, but seemingly far removed from the unrest in the cities is the small town of Mill Valley, where for generations the shadow of the Bellows family has loomed large. It is in their mansion on the edge of town that Sarah, a young girl with horrible secrets, turned her tortured life into a series of scary stories written in a book that has transcended time. Stories that have a way of becoming all too real for a group of teenagers who discover Sarah's terrifying tome. Alright, so let's talk about the basic vibe of this beast and what this thing is. It's based on, as many of you may know, the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark anthology series of books. The writer-author team escapes me at the moment, but anyway, this ditches the anthology format of those books and basically hangs 4 to 6 arguably scary stories on a beefed up skeleton of a story that the individual haunts and curses and killings and stuff all hang on. I really would have preferred much more of an anthology kind of style, like the old Twilight Zone movie, or trying to think of like maybe Amazing Stories. Was that a miniseries? I can't remember. But anyway, just like give us a few brief scenes showing people telling stories around a campfire, and then cut away and give the beef of your time, as much time as possible, to fleshing out, maybe 4 to 6, you could do 6 probably, scary stories, each with a totally different setting, totally different characters, and give each of those about 15 to 20 minutes. And I mean, with commercials factored in, that's how long a lot of 30-minute sitcoms and other types of shows were for years. And so I think you can do a lot actually with 15 to 20 minutes. And I really wish they would have gone that route. I found that the teenagers were not very interesting or fleshed out to me compared to like the movie Super 8, or more recently, It Chapter 1. I really like my protagonists to have character motivations fleshed out so that I can feel for them. Then it makes their impending doom that much more intense for me, because I'm invested, I care about them, I want them to live because there's some kind of a thing in their lives that they want to experience, they want to bring about, they want to do. There's some kind of arc that is proposed that makes me as a viewer want to see them reach that fulfillment. And so when their life is cut short, it makes it all the more, intense for me. But when you don't do that, then I'm just like, it becomes kind of generic teen slasher flick. I mean, that's not the style of this movie. It's not a slasher flick, but you know what I mean. It's just like, it's just people getting picked off, and you don't really care. And I want to care a lot more than I did for this movie. Oh no, did my notes just like totally, oh my gosh. So while I'm trying to get my wife's laptop working again, can we please... what else can I say about the story? This is uncut! Dang it, I'm not stopping. Let me put in the password again. Oh my gosh, this has just been terrible. I've actually been dealing with it emotionally a little bit better than last time. There it is! Alright, my notes are back up. Jeez, we all survived that together, didn't we? Oh yeah, you've got this backdrop of it's the 1960s, and it's the backdrop of the Nixon's election, and which is kind of a weird thing to, like, I don't know if they're playing up a theme at all of like the draft. The draft is a main part of one of the characters' kind of backstories, one of the few that is fleshed out just a little bit, And it wasn't doing anything for me, to have this theme of Nixon's election and the draft and the Vietnam War part of the background. I'm like, why are you giving any time to this? They didn't give a ton of time to it, but precious seconds, that could have been given to more of an anthology kind of thing with more fleshed out stories and stuff. Let's see here. The characters and the story were also structured and presented in a way that by the last 20 minutes of the movie, I knew who was going to survive. And I hate that. I hate being able to tell. It's like, oh yeah, they're doing this. Just when you see enough movies or read enough stories or whatever, you just kind of, at least for me, I end up, on a meta level, my thoughts intrude on the story, and I'm like, well, they're going to live because A, B, and C, has to happen, so, or they clearly want me to feel this and desire this, and it's very few movies that subvert those expectations, and this one did not, so that was a bummer. The actor performances, I thought were all fine, but there weren't any standout performances to me. Young actors usually means young and less skilled performers, so I often struggle to connect with protagonists that are, this age or younger, and if the script makes them unrealistically brave or psychologically intact in ways that I don't think they would be or should be given their circumstances, and that was a case, going on in this movie as well, then I check out even more when their performances kind of follow suit and also maybe just don't feel quite as realistic as they should, Now, how much the actors could have added, how much subtext they would have been permitted, a lot of this could have been direction, so I don't know, but ultimately that final result of the performances is a combination of what the actors are doing, what the director wants them to do, and what the editor chooses alongside the director in the end, and then you've also got the script to begin with, so it's hard to know exactly, what's the cause there, but anyway, I didn't connect with the performances for one reason or another. As far as the visuals and how this movie looks, the hauntings and the deaths were easily the best part of the experience for me. They took direct inspiration visually from the art style and the design of creatures and ghosts and monsters from the original books, and I think that really helped the experience a lot for me in a big way, because those are some disturbing, just Google some images from the original Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book. Those are disturbing, like weird ink pencil. I don't know what the style was, but it is disturbing to look at. The shooting style also did what it needed to do in order to really keep me engaged. It used all the right tricks that, even though I was kind of aware, they're doing this trick, I was like, well, they could go this way with the trick or that way with the trick. There's just enough difference in how these kinds of things are shot that I was, still kind of in suspense, in the moments that I should have been in suspense. And so, and that's even, feeling pretty confident that such and such character was going to die, The climactic sequence, however, was, already hurt by the script, and it was deflated even more for me by the use of a very CGI-looking creature at the end, especially the creature's face. Facial animations just almost always look cartoony for me, even when they are cutting edge. Part of that's just because, as some of you know already, my eyes are cursed to pick out CG when it is happening, especially if it is mimicking something biological or some kind of living thing, And so when you do a humanoid face and its facial movements, it's even just its eye movements or whatever, and this one was doing all kinds of facial expressions and stuff, I was just like, oh man, it just totally took me out of it, and I really wish they would have just used somebody in makeup, at least for the face, and then do CGI with whatever else they want, but when they're trying to scare me with the face, then let an actor do that, or some kind of half and half technique, I don't know. Anyway, as far as like themes, is there anything of moral, philosophical, or spiritual significance going on? Just let me make sure my phone doesn't fall asleep. In this story that might stimulate some worthwhile thought or conversation, and I think maybe there's arguably a theme about not blaming yourself for tragedies that you are not actually responsible for. But the stronger theme to me seemed to be could be stated as this: don't let being a victim turn you into a monster. This is most strongly stated really at the climax of the movie, and I think it's important for us to remember, as geeks, many of us have been misunderstood or even been victims at some point in our lives that has left a mark on us, and sometimes those scars can make it easy for us to feel angry or to have just an ongoing undercurrent of bitterness toward life and the world, and that can make us feel entitled to kind of mistreat other people. My life is crap, so they need a taste of it too. Everybody needs to understand me better, and I can bring that about by making their lives, a little bit crappy today. We may not, actually bring those specific thoughts fully fleshed out to mind, but it's surprising how that kind of thought, almost on a subconscious level, can drive the things that we do, the way that we interact with other people. And so I think it's important when we're angry to ask ourselves, okay, why am I angry right now? And how is my anger influencing my choices or my interactions with people right now? And then to really seek out real helpful conversations and interactions with the right kinds of people that can surround us and love us, and support us so that we can work through those things instead of allowing them to sabotage basically our ability to have good, healthy relationships, loving relationships and friendships, with other people. So as Sarah points out at the end of the movie, when people do wrong to us, that's on them. But if we do wrong to others in response to being hurt, that's all on us. Let's see here. I have no idea what your tastes are in movies, but if I were a time traveler, I'd go back in time and say, Peter, oh man, skip this one. The haunting and death sequences are cool and intense, but not enough to make the rest of it worth sitting through for you. But hey, jump on Amazon.com, see what a collection of those original anthology books is going for these days. That's been on your bucket list to put on your bookshelf, and maybe now's the time. This movie will kind of remind you of that. It's rated PG-13 for terror/violence, disturbing images, thematic elements, language including racial epithets, and brief sexual references. Right now, I'd like to take some time to write a tune for pre-made rhyme. The lyrics kind of never change, but the melody bum 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 gets rearranged. I'll never know what I'll create to say how much I appreciate barbells and joysticks, Libre, Stefan Kramick, and Winston Crutchfield. Thank you for supporting me and SBP and CGC. And now to all who hear this tune, thank you as well. And we can come back soon. Wanna hear your name in song? Then check out our page on Patreon. All right, those are my thoughts. I'd love to get yours in the comments below, and then I hope you'll join us soon as we continue at christiangeekcentral.com as we continue to geek out and seek the truth.
christiangeekcentral.com